Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we're diving into the best roguelikes and roguelites of 2025 that you should be playing, and there's a lot of great games on here, so let's dive right in.
Incoming!
First up is Abyssus, a brine-punk roguelike FPS where you and the squad will dive into a drowned civilization that's absolutely stacked with ridiculous blessings while, trying to take on enemies and not get turned into chum in the mix. So, what's each loop like for you? Well, each dive is a different run, and you're going to be picking a loadout, dropping into a procedurally generated chamber, and fighting your way through hordes of enemies. And between all the different arenas and the different mods and blessings that you get, your run is going to be changed every single time. So, turrets that spawn tentacles, shock rounds that chain in through mobs, and dashes that leave vortexes. The deeper you go, the spicier the combos will get. Now, talking about the combat, the gunplay is fast and mobile. You'll have double jumps and quick dashes, a clean hit scan and feedback, but bosses will mix up bullet hell patterns with raid-like kind of mechanics going on, so positioning and team synergy will definitely matter for this one. You can do solo, but it's always better with friends, so join up with 3 to 4 other players, and that's where the game will really shine. You could pick up Abyssus on Steam now, it's available, and hop in with some friends and have a great time.
Your story stolen from you. If you seek to reclaim it, rise and fight for it.
Next up is going to be Lost Isledon's Veil of the Witch. Now, this is a tactics roguelike game, and it absolutely cooks, friends. In this game, you team up with a small party of heroes to take on a plague on an island after your character washes ashore with amnesia. Now, each run is essentially a mini campaign where you chart branching paths across the island, hit the different event nodes, and drop into fast grid-based battles. When you wipe, you're booted back to the town hub where you have to spend your resources, unlock skills, craft gear, and get stronger until you can complete the run itself. The combat itself isn't, the typical super slow tactics. Abilities have cooldowns, positioning matters, and enemies pressure you to rotate roles very smartly. Flanks, elevation, and timing, big cooldowns, everything like that are all going to play, integral parts of this game, and there are elites and mini boss battles that are sprinkled throughout the different maps until you can clear a side and work your way to the major bosses. Progression feels fun, randomizing encounters, recruitable allies, and a risk and reward style to the gameplay. And death is just progress, it's not permanent. You just use it to advance the ladder and get better over time. Friends, you can play this game now across PC, PS5, and Xbox, and even Switch. It's great. Try it out for yourself. It's a fun time. So friends, next up is a game that I've definitely been enjoying, and that is called Absalom. Absalom is a very stylized roguelike beat-em-up where you will lead a rebellion across the fantasy realm of Tamil. You'll be smashing through different branches of routes and drafting post-room upgrades and continuously improving your character's skills to make them progressively stronger. And of course, you will have a core group of heroes to swap in and out of. But the best part about it, friends, is that there is online co-op. So go at it solo, go with friends, it's a great time. But what's really cool is that it's very reminiscent of the old school style games like Golden Axe. And it's what happens when you mix like a classic arcade game brawler with a roguelike crack to it that just definitely hits, gives you bigger combos and a new type of build every single run. It's a great time, friends. Again, death is meaningless in a roguelike. You'll die, you'll start again, you'll progress, go forward. It's a lot of fun. One more time, go check it out for yourselves.
In the name of Hades.
Now, next up is a game that does not need much of an introduction, everybody, and that is going to be Hades 2. We've had our time to play with it a little bit already, and we can already tell you It's just as fun, if not more fun than the first game. But this time around, we'll be playing the role of Melinoe, the princess of the underworld, and she's underway on a quest of revenge against Kronos, the Titan of Time. Now, for all my lore lovers out there, Kronos is the father of both Zeus and Hades, so you already know this is going to be a harder challenge. The core loop and systems are both returning and changing, so we will be having a room-to-room combat sequence that's returning from the first game, but magic is going to be playing a much bigger role in this and changing out for new Omega moves and Arcana cards that will replace the old incantation systems and pickup systems.
Are you prepared for another hard lesson?
But Hades 2 is coming at us now with magic, with time slaying, and very clean and polished combat that feels very genre defining, and definitely a nice progression from the first game. But what's different mechanically? So the runs are still going to be fast and room-based gauntlets, but now our kit will run purely on magic, and we'll be holding down different inputs to fire off Omega attacks and specials that will reshape our playstyle. Better attempts will help us flip out different Arcana cards at the Altar of Ashes for permanent perks, and brew incantations at the Cauldron to unlock tools, routes, and quality of life upgrades. Friends, change your build crafts and your weapons, go at it with different armaments each time until you can get the perfect run, and of course, as always with Hades, have fun taking on this challenge. It's going to be really, taxing on you. So if you haven't checked this one out already, you're missing out, so do it.
I would like to see you try.
Death to Kronos.
Then next up we have Sworn. Now this one is for all of our medieval lovers. Camelot has fallen, and Sworn makes you and up to 3 friends swear an oath to take down King Arthur himself. Now each run you will pick a knight, dive into a corrupted Avalon, and chain areas towards fighting down the Knights of the Round Table bosses until you can progress from room to room. And between the different rooms, you will draft different Fey blessings from Titano, the Wind Fury, to Oberon, King of the Fey. You'll be able to, mutate and change out your builds. And if you wipe, you're sent back to camp, and you'll be mixing and matching and trying to get your guy completely built up so that you can progress through the game further. Now, combat is a lot of fun. It's quick and readable. You'll have dashes, telegraph boss attack patterns, and builds that slot together. Now, think stun chains into AoE burns, or wind pulls into execution crits. Solos are definitely solid and viable in this game, but the real fun is when you're having a full player co-op. But friends, this is a fun one. It's challenging. Take on King Arthur himself, and push past there, and there is a secret boss at the end of the game. Arthur is not the end. Take on the true evil that is corrupting the lands of Avalon with your friends, and do it in style. If you've not done so already, pick up Sworn on PC and console. Next up is going to be Knights in Tight Spaces, and this game has a very minimalistic but unique and fun art style, and it is a deck-building roguelike, and friends, this one's a ton of fun. We'll have our squad to recruit, and we'll pick different pathways across a fantasy map, and drop into compact grid-like arenas. Your cards are going to be what's driving the movement, counters, pushes, and pulls and combos in this game. Clear each room, collect new cards and gear, and decide the next node, either elite, event, heal, and so on. The combat feels great. We'll be able to position around our environment to have more control, kick bandits into hazards, wall slam brutes, or set up team moves that will juggle enemies across the board. The animated strike sequences are clean and keep it readable and flashy at the same time. And of course, the different builds and progressions with up to 300 plus cards, class perks, and gear will make sure that this game always feels fresh for every single run. So, if you're looking for a fun but difficult challenge, friends, be sure to pick up this game on PC. And for our friends that enjoy, slower pace and more relaxing roguelikes, we do have an interesting one on the list, and that is going to be Grimoire Groves. This is a roguelike for our chill grinders. So witchcraft, gardening, and fast room clears that still kind of scratch that itch for one more run, but more kind of toned back and easy to approach. So each run is a short dungeon route. You zap through areas and arenas, gather seeds and regions, then return them to your garden to plant creatures and unlock new spells, perks, and meta upgrades for your next dive. Now, the combat itself is pretty clean and readable. You'll have all the different dodge mechanics, casting, and repositioning, and you get a small set of different spells to chase interactions, roots that hold mobs in place for a big burst, chain effects that spread across different groups. The limited slots will force focus, but allow for combos that are surprisingly deep and clean. So the progression for this game is cozy paced progression. Early on, you'll need to have a little bit of patience and practice, but once your garden kind of expands, your spell pool will open up, the game will feel more of a curated and tight build, and giving you a more fun and focused loop for both the cozy and peaceful but fun roguelike grinding experience. So this is a unique one, friends, and be sure to check it out on Steam. Then we have a hardcore, fast-paced roguelike called Rainbreaker. Now, Rainbreaker is a medieval punk chaos roguelike that focuses on short savage runs where we'll get to play as the main character, Clef, and using her mighty javelin to turn different royal mechs into scrap. So each loop will be able to breach into a district of Bastion, clear compact rooms, and draft power-ups that bend our kit, harder hitting throws, ricochets, explosions, and mobility packs, cash and plunder between rooms, gamble on elites, and keep pushing towards the elite champion for each sector. Now the combat feels really fast but precise. You get to weave different dashes with the charged javelin strikes, bait telegraphed attacks from locked operated mechs, then punish them with burst windows. It's readable, punchy, and tuned in for that kind of one more attempt rhythm. And as always, friends, with a roguelike, death is not the end. We will be banking our resources at the end of each run for permanent boosts that gives us fresh new toys to bring to the battlefield to kind of, remix our fun and allow us to tackle on the difficulties with, more gear and hopefully getting you all ready for the inevitable final boss. This is an interesting one. You could find it on Steam now. So Rock and Stone returns, but solo this time. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor turns the Hawks' chaos into dwarf roguelike fun, and our guns are full auto. We'll be cooking bugs while we mine, upgrade, and try not to get buried in the mix. Now each run will drop us into procedurally generated asteroid where we're dodging waves, vacuuming up XP gems, and choosing upgrades and overclocks that will mutate our build. Then we're going to be sprinting around the evac within seconds to spare and trying to get out safely. Remember, friends, greed will get you killed, but it's so hard to walk away from good loot. Now, this one is a bit different, and unlike the flat arena auto shooters out there, this DRG Survivor lets us dig into the arena itself, using our pickaxe and tunnels to funnel mobs, detour hazards, and carve safe pockets through a big push to the terrain to get the loot and the secret sauce that we also desire. This is an interesting one, so friends, pick it up on Steam today. And then lastly, Wizard of Legend is returning with their second installment, and it is bringing back the 4-player chaos. Build your spell kit, jump into the trials, and melt bosses with stacked elemental combos. Each run, you'll be able to assemble your loadout of Arcana, focusing on basic, dash, special, or even those signature items. Then fight from room to room to clear the Chalice trials. Clear an arena, pick different Arcana or relics, and route towards elites and bosses. Wipe, return to town, invest in resources, and do it all over again. The combat is definitely fast-paced and reactive. Iframes on dashes, crisp hits and confirms, and spells that chain. Ice into freeze, lightning to pop, wind to group, and different signature nukes that you can get. With your friends, you will prep different team synergies. One player groups are fine, but as always, friend, the rule applies here. 4 people is just so much more fun. So, if you haven't checked this one out, be sure to do it across all platforms. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. As always, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and be sure to smash that like and go and share it. Give it those hype points because it helps us out, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.